Users are saying that their DualSense adaptive triggers with the PS5 controller are breaking. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Thank you for stopping by. If you're new here and you enjoy what you see throughout this video, hey, maybe consider subscribing to help this channel grow, help grow this community, and we can have great conversations about what's going on in the video game industry. But for now, let's jump into this. The release of the PlayStation 5 has been a really successful release in the terms that it's sold out everywhere. It's really a hot commodity, and we are Christmas Eve right now, and a lot of people who are hoping to get a PS5 tomorrow on Christmas Day under the tree are most likely not going to be getting it because of how hard it is to get, because scalpers taking up all of the consoles and other factors with the production and the amount of inventory available. One of the most next gen things that has been talked about with the PlayStation 5 is the actual controller itself, the DualSense controller that has haptic feedback, has adaptive triggers which can release and increase the pressure of how hard it is to actually press down on that trigger. Now, when these controllers were first used, a lot of people were questioning whether these triggers would last long, the longevity of them, how well they were built, and if they would start breaking, because you can really jam down hard on those triggers, especially when they're giving you resistance. And it seems like there are issues with the triggers actually breaking. So this is an article from Game Rant, and they're saying that users say their DualSense adaptive triggers are breaking. So the console obviously released a month ago, and it appears there are new hardware issues that have been discovered on the PS5's DualShock controllers. They didn't even name the controller, but it is the DualSense. And according to some players who were lucky enough to secure a PS5, the DualSense adaptive triggers are starting to malfunction. A report revealed that while playing Spider-Man Miles Morales, they felt the R2 trigger snap, becoming loose and unresponsive. Other users share a similar experience, with some reports claiming that the R2 trigger is becoming less sensitive over time. At the moment, the internet is filled with homemade fixes to this problem, which suggests that more players are encountering this problem. So I've seen some videos on how to fix it. I've seen some reports of people saying that their trigger isn't working or it's gotten loose. And there's various Reddit posts talking about this, and this is just one of them, saying extremely weak trigger on DualSense. Recently, I noticed that my DualSense controller trigger is extremely weak. I noticed this when playing because of how many times I shoot by accident. I was playing a PS4 game, but the L trigger still felt way stronger and basically normal. And then you go down through here in the comments, and there are 82 comments and a lot of people saying that this is what happened to them. A lot of people saying it is the spring. I saw a video where you were able to actually remove the plastic around the controller and move the spring back into place so that it was actually tight again. And I think that is one of the main issues, is that the spring within the trigger is moving out of place, making the actual triggers themselves become loose. And you can just keep going down in these comments, and there are a lot there. And then if you just actually look in reddit.com, DualSense trigger loose, and basically there are lots of threads actually talking about the DualSense trigger being loose and weak. Here's a recent one from about 26 days ago. This person was playing Overwatch in mid-game. They pressed down on the R2 trigger and heard a slight snap or crunch on how the trigger now has become loose, and it feels like there's little to no resistance. And again, you go down here, there are some more comments and people just saying that they've experienced very similar situations with the DualSense controller. And if we take a look at the actual mechanism itself, I'm honestly not surprised. This was, when they first showed this, one of the things I was thinking about. I'm like, how long are these things actually going to last, especially if there's a lot of pressure being pushed down on those triggers, and the fact that the mechanism is made out of plastic. These things are going to definitely break at some point or another, unless you don't really use the adaptive triggers that much, or you just don't use your PlayStation 5 that much. But if you're playing on that thing every single day and you're jamming down on that trigger, the thing's made of plastic, there is a chance that it's eventually going to become loose and it's eventually going to break. In terms of how widespread it is, it's still unclear, but over 1,000 people have actually reported the same experience using the adaptive trigger. And I think that's a decent amount, and there's probably a lot of people just who haven't reported it. So this is, to me, just another reason why you need to wait with buying a PS5. Don't go buy scalpers, don't buy any of that stuff, because there are still issues. Even with the controller, there are issues, and we don't know if these are some things that they're going to be able to fix, or if they're going to create new controllers and further iterations of the DualSense controllers with an updated mechanism that does not break as easily. But I mean, if there's a lot of widespread issues, a lot of people are calling PlayStation and reporting this, I'm assuming they're going to be looking into these issues and then releasing a new iteration of the DualSense controller. There's always problems when there's new hardware, new mechanisms that are put into place out into the wild, and that they haven't been tested on a large scale, and we're starting to see this with the DualSense. Another issue that I saw were the actual face buttons they're already pretty shallow in their press. They do not make a lot of noise, and that was by design. But feeling that the face buttons kind of don't press down, or they don't really have any feedback to them, they kind of go dead at a certain point. I've seen that as well going around. Again, for that, here is another Reddit post on PS5 where someone is saying that they could have gotten a bad controller, possibly because the buttons feel sticky or squishy. And then if you scroll down, there is 141 comments going on this, and people are saying that they are having these similar issues with their DualSense controller. So there's definitely issues with that controller right now, and hopefully that they will be worked out. But if I were you, like I said, just wait till all of the stuff's worked out. I know it's Christmas tomorrow. A lot of people want a PS5. A lot of people are hoping to get it under their tree, but in reality, it's probably better to wait and do not buy scalpers, do not buy any of that stuff. So I hope that these things get worked out, and I hope that people who are receiving their PlayStation 5 on Christmas do not have these issues. I'm not trying to be the Grinch here. If you're hoping to get a PS5, then you think about all of these issues when you receive it. Just reporting on what I have seen so far with the DualSense controller, so you guys are aware of what is going on. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Have you been having any issues with your PlayStation 5 DualSense controller? Are the triggers still working fine? How are the face buttons functioning? I would love to get some feedback on what you guys are experiencing. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here and you enjoy what you see throughout this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button to join this community so we can have some more great conversations about video games going forward. I hope everybody has an awesome Christmas. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all your support, and I will catch you in the next video.